You know what the most important lesson I've ever learned is? It's that you should never abandon the people. You should never retreat into a niche in reaction to the obstacles and setbacks that you encounter. Over the last few years, we've seen the American people reject the Ukraine PSYOP. We've seen the majority of the American people reject the Israel PSYOP. I expect that we'll see the American people prove themselves in many other ways, especially if communists take the initiative and insert ourselves into the mass consciousness. If we work to help lift the people's consciousness up and give more depth to their revolutionary awareness. And I say this because I believe that at this moment we are facing some obstacles that I didn't know that we were facing just a couple weeks ago. Kamala Harris is likely to be the Democratic nominee, which means it's quite possible that the powers that be are going to steal the election for Harris, make sure that Harris wins, which, as Caleb Maupin has observed, is going to be the worst case scenario for this election. Kamala Harris is a personality type that is especially susceptible to being manipulated for the purposes of aggressive foreign policy maneuvers. And for Kamala Harris to be the next president, I think would simultaneously help the woke PSYOP and the anti-woke PSYOP. It would inflame the culture wars in a lot of ways. So this is the reality that we're facing at this moment in time. But it only makes me want to struggle harder. It makes me encouraged to go into the masses more. It doesn't make me discouraged. It doesn't make me feel like retreating from them. I think that the defining mistake of 20th century American communists was to react to the obstacles that they faced by becoming more niche, by internalizing the idea that they can only win by focusing on a particular subset of the population. And, you know, that was understandable at the time in terms of, like, how they could emotionally react to the ways that the labor aristocracy was responding to them, to the prevalence of anti-communist ideas. But even at the time, that was incorrect, and especially now, that's an incorrect stance to take. Anti-popular ideas, especially in a time when the labor aristocracy has declined so much, they're just not correct. The only way that we'll win is by embracing the people, by inserting ourselves into the conversation more, and not walling ourselves off. So that's the idea that I want to convey right now as we face some big issues, some big maneuvers that our ruling class is going to carry out. I don't want us to give up.